The Jimmy Kimmel saga has come to a conclusion, and it's ended up as a genuine and complete victory for democracy over autocracy. As you know, and as I've discussed in a previous video, the actions of the Trump administration directly led to the withdrawal of Jimmy Kimmel from his late-night comedy show slot. Now, what happened is that the chairman of the FCC made a threat to Disney, the corporation that basically owns the station and platform where Kimmel broadcasts from. And he basically said, believe it or not, in the words of a mafioso don, we can either do this the easy way or you can do this the hard way. And he essentially forced them to get rid of Jimmy Kimmel. The wonderful thing is that they, of course, went ahead and progressed with that straight away. But the wonderful thing is that the backlash from the American public was absolutely overwhelming. The number of times, for example, that people started to search, how do I cancel my Disney subscription, went up 800% almost overnight when that happened. And wave after wave of people were then cancelling their Disney subscriptions. How do we know that? Because it literally went viral. There were videos being shared by people about, showing them cancelling their Disney subscriptions. The website you need to go on to cancel your subscription actually crashed. And this started to get noticed by the markets, as a result of which $4.3 billion was wiped off the share price of Disney, just in a matter of a few days. This was real people power, moving the corporations to hear their voice. And they heard it. They realized that their bottom line is at stake. Their entire business is at stake. All these corporate leaders, like the chief executive of Disney who kowtowed to the whim of Trump, realized that his job is at stake if he goes along and follows the orders that he was given. And so they turned around. They begged and scraped for Jimmy Kimmel to come back. This is not something Disney could sustain. And yes, it was a drop in their share value, but then it'll ultimately translate. So they couldn't allow that to stand. They had to negotiate with Kimmel. And they brought him back the very next week. And Kimmel wasted no opportunity there to genuinely speak his mind and say why this moment was so important for American democracy, why what people did made such a difference.
This show is not important. What is important is that we get to live in a country that allows us to have a show like this. Yeah! You almost have to feel sorry for him. He did his best to cancel me. Instead, he forced millions of people to watch the show. That backfired bigly. He might have to release the Epstein files to distract us from this now. Now, a lot of people have been asking me if there are conditions for my return to the air, and there is one. Disney has asked me to read the following statement. And I agreed to do it. Here we go. To reactivate your Disney Plus and Hulu account, open the Disney Plus app on your smart TV or TV-connected device.
Of course, what happened then infuriated Trump. He couldn't stand the fact that his orders weren't being followed. And he just couldn't bear the fact that he had been defied so openly, so nakedly, in this way. And with the person who he tried to harm, whose livelihood, not just Jimmy Kimmel, but the hundreds of people who work for him, whose livelihoods he tried to wipe away, came back. And not only came back, but poked fun at him in response. And so Trump couldn't restrain himself. He had to then send out a message, and this is what he said on Truth Social. I can't believe that ABC Fake News, ABC of course is the corporation where he broadcasts, which is owned by Disney. I can't believe that ABC Fake News gave Kimmel his job back. The White House was told by ABC that his show was cancelled. Something happened between then and now. I think we're going to test ABC out on this. Let's see how we do. Last time I went after them, they gave me $16 million. This is when basically Trump tried to sue ABC over some factual reporting that was done by George Stephanopoulos, and they ended up again kowtowing and giving over some money to him, to settle out of court. So this is what he's talking about. Last time I went after them, they gave me $16 million. This one sounds like even more lucrative opportunity. A bunch of losers. Let Jimmy Kimmel rot. You see, this is a president openly threatening a comedian, an entertainer. Because why? Because he makes fun of him. He's threatening that he's going to sue him, he's going to go after the organization. He is making clear that Jimmy Kimmel's withdrawal was as a result of his order. It was his whim, it was his desire, it was his requirement that Jimmy Kimmel go. And now they're not doing it. He's threatening to sue them, he's threatening to go after them, he's threatening to make sure they follow through on his command.
Look, I never imagined I would be in a situation like this. I barely paid attention in school. But one thing I did learn from Lenny Bruce and George Carlin and Howard Stern is that a government threat to silence a comedian the president doesn't like is anti-American. That's anti-American. And I am so glad we have some solidarity on that from the right and the left and from those in the middle like Joe Rogan. Maybe the silver lining from this is we found one thing we can agree on.
Now, anybody who defends Trump's actions after this, anybody who says that Trump is for free speech after this, is either completely ignorant or genuinely knowingly lying. Because Trump is displaying here, through his anger, through his immediate retaliation, the fact that he does not want free speech. He only wants me speech. He only wants speech in which he can say his piece, and he does not want others to say theirs. He's going after his critics openly and nakedly. And the very interesting thing about this episode is that even people on the right in the end started attacking Trump and saying, no, you can't do that. You can't cancel free speech in this way. We have been talking about free speech and cancel culture, and here you are completely trying to obliterate it. Even Ted Cruz, even Tucker Carlson came out against this, as did Ben Shapiro and many other folks on the right. So the country is coming together, even the left and the right, against this idea of trying to stifle free speech in this way. But that's not stopping Trump. He's still trying. But at the very least, we know that those who still support Trump in this endeavor can no longer pretend that they are for free speech. They are against free speech. And what we have seen in this action is how Trump can be defeated. It's by people power. It's by individuals making decisions and sharing that with each other, making a decision to defy Trump go viral. And that viral decision then almost becomes like a general strike, which Trump isn't able to control anymore. That is how the people can defy Trump. And in the end, whatever he does, because all he is doing is trying to grab more and more power, and this will go to its ultimate in terms of trying to steal elections, it will be for the people, individually and coming together collectively, to defy him and to stop him from taking it to that ultimate level. That is what it will come down to, and this episode with Jimmy Kimmel has shown the template of how it can be done. I hope you like my video. As a psychiatrist who loves politics and economics and philosophy, I love to make videos like this, and you can really help promote this video to other people and get it on your feed more by liking and commenting and subscribing to the video as well. We have a wonderful community of people here who comment and support each other through this very traumatic period of world history that we're going through right now. I also hope you consider becoming a subscriber to the channel and also subscribing to my e-newsletter. There's a link in the description, and that way we can stay in touch outside the channel, so you can keep abreast of all of the content that I'm making on an ongoing basis. The latest of which actually is my latest book called We the People. Very, very proud of this book. It's actually a novel, a fiction book written by myself and the famous award-winning author T.J. McGregor. Together we wrote a book about what the future might look like. Bit of a dystopian novel, but what might happen if autocracy goes to its next stage, AI predicting the potential end of humanity. I actually made a video about that, it really happened. And how things might pan out in this dystopian world, and actually how a band of committed, passionate, progressive people managed to change the trajectory, and not in the way that you think. It's not just by running a candidate and opposing the autocrat, but actually by deepening the democracy that we have and engaging in a real participatory form of democracy that sort of shifts the needle and gets us back to basics and helps us sort of rebuild our democracy. And that's within the context of a really compelling, gripping story, a bunch of fascinating characters, and I assure you, you will not be able to sort of stop turning the page until you get to the end of the book. That's what all the reviewers have said so far. Lots of people love it, and I hope you can get it. You can get it on Amazon, any of the global Amazon bookstores out there. Please do order your copy of We the People. Just put We the People Russell Razak and you'll be able to find it inside Amazon as well. Also, I hope you consider becoming a member of the channel. You can subscribe to a couple of different membership levels. All members of the channel also get some free ebooks that I produce once a month. You can buy those ebooks too from russellsbooks.com. That's russellsbooks.com, and every month I produce a new ebook on that channel, which is really about, these are the non-fiction books I produce with my team, which is really about how to learn about the world around us and the psychologies of the people who govern us, but also how to learn about ourselves, deepen our own self-awareness in a way that helps us navigate this difficult world we're in right now. So those are sort of self-help books that are produced every month, and if you're a member of the channel, you get a sort of 100% discount on those books every month. Otherwise, you can go to russellsbooks.com, as I say, and buy them anytime you like. I really hope you can become a part of this community, as I say. So this sort of supportive community, validating and helping each other, is really worth being a part of, and I hope you can join us as we all join forces to create a better tomorrow together. Thank you.